I'm Jim Knight, co-founder of the Instructional Coaching Group, and you're listening to Coaching Conversations, where I talk with coaching experts from around the world so that all of us can learn better ways to make an unmistakably positive impact on the people around us.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Coaching Questions Show on the Coaching Conversations podcast with Jim Knight. This show is for everyone that calls the Instructional Coaching Group home for all your instructional coaching content. These episodes are designed for everyone who desires to think and learn alongside Jim and myself as you continue to make an impact with all the great work you do. I'm Jessica Wise, a proud member of our ICG consultant team. Today's episode gives us a chance to preview 2025 for everyone. And once our Q&A has come to a close, we'll have an epilogue, or a final note at the end of the show with a fun challenge to share with you before we sign off. So, on with the show. Hi, Jim.
Hey, Jessica, I'm grateful for you being here because I know you're not 100%. But you sound 100%, so it's great to have you here. Thanks for being here.
I discovered this wonderful invention called Afrin, and so thank you to whoever did that.
Whatever it takes.
Yes, whatever it takes. So I'm really happy to be here with you too, Jim. This is an exciting episode looking ahead to 2025.
Yes, I love it. I love this whole concept.
Well, we have some really exciting questions. So are you ready to dive in?
I am ready. I'm ready.
All right, here we go. So our first question for looking ahead to 2025 is this. What New Year's resolutions do you have and how do you plan to achieve them?
Yeah, I don't have any New Year's resolutions. I don't believe in it. But I do have an answer. Mulan, next question. No,
we're going to skip.
No. I actually love the concept of new beginnings. I think teaching, you hand in your grades, that group's done, new chance next year. And I love that about all kinds of things. And in fact, some of my favorite music are songs about new beginnings. So there's Van Morrison has a song called Brand New Day. It feels like a brand new day. Dylan's got a song called New Morning. I really love that song a lot. It's one of my favorite songs. There's a person, Mary Margaret O'Hara, has a song about a new day. And I love that idea of it's to me, it's one of the great things about life is you always get to start over. So I love the concept of starting over. So I do kind of reboots all the time. I try to do things differently. So although I don't have really New Year's resolutions, just after my last few weeks of traveling when I was in Singapore, and then I was kind of all over the place. And then I came back and then I was learning forward. I came home and I said, this is the time for the Jim Knight reboot. So I'm trying to live cleanly, like not eat unhealthy food and walk every day and limit my use of alcohol. I don't really drink that much anyway, but not drink at all. And really kind of start my day with kind of centering thinking and thinking about people that matter and have a whole sort of rhythm. So I've kind of done the official Jim Knight reboot as of whatever it was, the Tuesday after learning forward when I got home. So it's been going pretty well. And I'm actually keeping track every day of my habits. I've got a list of the things I want to do and I'm checking them off if I do them and keeping track of things. And it's been, I just did a little trip to California and I took that trip. That just messed with everything. But now that I'm home, I think I can really stick with it. So that's where I am right now. It's healthy living. But I would like to, within the next year, be in good enough shape that I could, if I go somewhere and there's a half marathon going on, I could run the half marathon. That would be my goal. Right now, I can't do a 5K. Well, I could do a 5K. It just take me like 90 minutes. But I'd like to be able to knock it out in a healthy time. So that's where I am. What about you? What are your New Year's resolutions? Or do you not make them either?
Well, thanks for sharing so much. I used to love New Year's resolutions. I loved journaling for a really long time. I journaled. I went through many journals. And every New Year's Eve, I'd make a list of my resolutions. I'd keep none of them. I went pretty strong through January, but February, I'd forget all about them. And then I went through a phase where I rebelled against resolutions. I thought, oh, please, I'm just not going to do it. Everyone's doing it. I'm not going to do it. But now I'm back. I'm turning 40 next year, which is a big deal for me. And I feel like this is a great time for a reboot, like you mentioned, or refreshing things that I want to do as I turn the corner to my big 4-0. So yeah, I have a couple of resolutions that I have on my list. And one of them, as you know, I'm running. And so I really want to be consistent with running. It's important to me. It centers me. It's that self-care everyone talks about is so important. You taught us it's important in the definitive guide. Running is like all the noise in my head or all the busyness of life or all the stress I feel just melts away when I run. So I'd like to get into a very consistent routine with that. That's a big one. I'd say I have sub goals or sub resolutions, but really it's just about consistent time where I can decompress.
So see, in my brain, I think we're basically the same age, but I'm actually turning 70 this year. So I got a big number coming up too. But
This is a big year for us.
And we're both going to be runners. That's awesome.
Yes. Hey, maybe we'll find ourselves in the same city when there's a race going on and we can do it together.
That's right. I would like
It's your 40-year-olds doing a half mare. Sounds great.
Yeah. That sounds good. That's good.
I like that. So those are things we're doing in 2025, Jim.
Yeah. Well, so do you do journaling now? Because I've got this idea about journaling.
I do. What's your idea?
Well, my idea is, you know how Microsoft has the little microphone thing? You can click on it and do voice to text.
Yes.
I'm thinking I might do that for journaling because the act of typing, I don't really want to be on my computer typing, and I'm not a really good typist. It's kind of, and then writing takes forever, but I think maybe voice. So I might try it because I've never really, I've like started probably, 10,000 journals. I'm always starting a journal. And then I got so many journal books where I've written like, today's the day. And then I got 2 more days and that's about it. Then I got a bunch of pages. So I think I might try I've been thinking about trying journaling using the voice to text edit to see what happens. I just kind of like let it go, see what happens.
I like that. There's an app on the phone called Journal, and you can do voice to text on this app. And if you have a day where you're not quite sure what to journal or what to say into your phone, it can give you prompts. So that's what I've been using. I like
it's called Journal.
Yes, it's just Journal. It has a little book on it. I can send you a screenshot. And that's what I've been using because like you, I love to write. That's what I'd prefer to do. But to actually carve out time to sit and write all my thoughts. And then I end up making a grocery list and I stop journaling altogether. Or I don't want to type. So I've been using my phone.
I take little point notes. Like I'll say, what went well, what didn't go well, what's my focus for the day. I do that most days. I sort of look back over the previous day and look for a few highlights and things that I think I could have done better and what will I do next. But I haven't ever done I haven't been able to stick with journaling where I'm like, and then I had my second cup of coffee and this one tasted a little better than the first one. I've never done that. So we'll see.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let me know how it goes. And if you try the Journal app, let me know what you think.
Right. I have one I've tried, but it's Day One, I think it's called, which is a journaling app, but it's not. I don't think it has the voice to text. If it does, I apologize to the makers of Day One. But anyway.
This Journal app just popped up. I updated my phone one day and here it was. Or maybe it's been there all the time and I didn't notice it.
Right.
I'll give it a try and it stuck. So I've been enjoying it.
Good.
Okay. Ready for question 2?
Yes.
So we've talked about some things that we are doing in 2025. What are some things you're definitely not doing in 2025?
Okay. So you know how you pick a day or a word for your year? And you say, this is my year of, peace, or this is my year of love, or this is my year of focus, or whatever. This is my year of pruning. So I'm not doing many things if I do what I want to do. So what I did is I took like a day. Jenny and I were on our vacation we take every year over our anniversary. So we had like a week, and she was off doing self-care. And so I was just sort of sitting there and I looked at everything I did and I came up with this list of about 16 things. And they're all big things, like writing books is one of the 16 things, doing our virtual institutes together, our courses we do together. That's one thing on my 16 list. So I said, okay, what I need to do is I need to make that about 7 things. And so I actually, at the Teaching, Learning, Coaching Conference next year in Phoenix, Arizona, Christian coached me, and he and I had decided that by March 31st, I'm going to take that list of 16 things and reduce it to 7. So I'm cutting out things that the bottom line is if other people could do it, I'm going to have them do it. And provide coaching and support necessary to do it, but to get it down to, so, because if you have too many things to do, and I bet you every coach and educator I'm talking to and leader has this experience, is you find you let people down, and trying to do too many things, sometimes you don't get anything done well. So I want to get it down to it. So I'm cutting out anything that other people could do instead of me, and then trying to find people to do it too. That's my thing. Pruning is the word, though. Pruning, like a little plant where you hack off all the things and then it flourishes. That's what I'm in the hacking off phase right now, up until March 31st. Then my flower should bloom at that point. What about you? What are you cutting out? What are you not doing?
Oh, well, thanks for sharing about pruning. What am I not doing in 2025? I'm not getting another dog. I can tell you that right now. We just got a new puppy and he's awful. So that has put an end to any desire I have to continue growing our family. And then something else I'm not doing, I shared a moment ago, I'm turning the corner to 40. I feel very vulnerable saying that on a recording. But as I turn that corner, one thing I'm not doing is embracing being busy anymore. Right now, we have my husband who coaches baseball, my oldest who plays lacrosse, my youngest who plays softball, all in different cities around the county where we live. And we're just so busy all the time. And I find that on the weekends, we're just trying to catch up. We've got laundry and cleaning and groceries and 100 other things to take care of. And then the garage door breaks. It's always something. So I feel like every day we have 10 things to do. I'm just not doing that in 2025. I'm making a point to schedule more downtime where I actively say today we're just not doing it. If that means laundry doesn't get cleaned, then it is what it is. We have enough clothes. And I think that actively trying to bring rest and peace and slowing down to our family will bring us together. It'll make us healthier. And we just like being outside, so we can even be outside without having to be at a sports field or having somewhere to go. So that's something I'm not doing in 2025 is rushing and being so busy we have no time to ourselves.
Oliver Berkman's got a new book called Meditation for Mortals. I think it's called Meditations for Mortals. And he says you just got to let go of the notion you can do it all. Something's not going to get done. Just accept it, which I'm having a hard time with. Because people will write you and say, "Hey, didn't you get my email? Where's the response?" I'm like, "Well, I did the best I can." But I think it's hard enough on your own to accept imperfection, but then you have to help other people realize I'm not going to be able to deliver on everything, and be good with people being upset because you didn't do the thing said you're going to do. Because he says it's never going to happen. He says you're thinking, just maybe by tomorrow I can get it all taken care of, and then I can start. There's always a sense of I'm going to get to this point where I've got it all organized. I'll have balance. It'll be clean, and then I can start my real life. And he said, start the real life and forget about it, because there is no tomorrow when it's already tidy and clean, and your inbox is empty and your laundry's folded. Let it go. So, which I haven't really been able to do, but I love the idea. I love the concept.
Well, I'll have to get that book because you're really speaking to what I'm trying to say. And also the person you're describing is me. As you know, I take pride in being very organized. We have not a lot of clutter around our house because to me, outer order helps the inner chaos that I have sometimes with my worry and all those things. I want our house to be clean. I want the laundry to be done so that we can enjoy it. And I had a humbling experience this week. We're battling a lot of sickness in our home right now. And I was making my cup of coffee. Everyone was up. It was like 4 a.m. And I poured the creamer into my water, stirred it, and then drank my coffee and realized that the creamer didn't make it in the coffee. It made it into the cup of water. And oldest daughter said, something doesn't seem right there. And it really took that moment for me to say, I am so distracted. I can't even add creamer to my coffee. I put it it wasn't even my water cup. It was my 9-year-old's water cup. I had to dump it out and get her a new cup. So it was just that moment where I thought, I have got to just pause and embrace doing nothing and not getting everything done, like you said.
Well, you're not doing nothing. You're just letting go of the notion you have to do everything and do it perfectly. That's all.
Right. Yes. And by the way, water and creamer is not good.
No, I wouldn't think.
Okay. Well, thanks. That was fun, Jim. So what are you bringing into 2025?
That's such a good question. And I love it. It's kind of like when Claudia Owad is coaching and she said, well, you got to a 6. What helped you get to a 6? And I would say gratitude. I'm really grateful that this has been such a big year. This is Michelle Harris's last few months working with ICG. She's moving on to bigger and better things. Michelle and I have worked for a long time. I have enormous gratitude for what I've learned from Michelle and the things we've done together. And I feel that way about everybody at ICG. I think we have just a fantastic team, and I love the fact that I'm able to work with a group of people who are mission driven, where we're making a difference in the lives of kids. Keeping kids first is the driving force of what people do. And then I'm super grateful to Growth Coaching International and the people there and what we're learning from them. I mentioned Claudia, and there's so many people on that team, Chris Monroe, and the chance to learn from them, especially John Campbell. He and I interact. And then Christian Van Oerberg, because he's affiliated with GCI, he's become he's a part of ICG now. And so I'm grateful for the chance to sort of bigger horizons as a result of the fact that we know so much more about how to coach leaders than we did before we worked with GCI. So I'm really grateful to people. And then, personally, I'm really grateful to my wife, especially Jenny. She's just doing really great things for her mom and dad right now. And it's kind of beautiful to watch her be such a great daughter. So yeah, I'm great. I'm blessed to be around so many people that do things that make, we had a little meeting yesterday where we call it the International Board, which sounds really fancy, but we had Christian was there, and John was there, Chris Monroe was there, Emily Malatesta was there. And just to see everybody and think about all of them being keen to do what we can do for kids, it was gratifying. And of course, I'm super grateful for you, Dr. Wise. So what about you? What are you taking into 2025?
Well, thank you for that. I'm super grateful for you too, Dr. Knight. So bringing into 2025, I feel the same as you. I think it's just a time of gratitude. We're exchanging a lot of emails about being grateful for one another, and lots of polos and messages, which fills my heart, a lot of buckets. So bringing into 2025 professionally, I'm excited about my new learning journey with the coaching accreditation program through GCI with Claudia, and of course, my teammates, Mary and Amy. I'm really excited about that. I finished my doctoral journey in 2023 and then defended in 2024. And then I've just kind of pressed pause. I've read a lot of books. I did a master class with you, and now I'm ready. I'm ready for my next learning journey. I love being a part of a structured learning experience, and this is exactly what I want. So I'm really excited about that. And I think it will help me as I continue to learn and then present with GCI courses like Managing Challenging Conversations with Claudia. And then personally, I'm excited. You don't know this. I can't wait to tell you because I want your ideas if you have some. So I've now said it 3 times. I feel like I'm really showcasing my age here, but I have decided.
You're not turning 40, are you?
I'm turning 40. Did you know the IC Toolkit Spiral Bound? That's kind of like one of those.
I was saving that for next. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. So I'm turning
thunder.
And what I want to do is 40 before 40. So I would like to do 40 things that I've said, oh, I'd love to, or that have been on my bucket list that I just keep putting off before April 5th, which is my big 40. So that's something I'm bringing into 2025 with me. And I'm accepting all ideas.
Okay, so anybody who's listening to this can send you ideas on what you should do before you're 40.
Yes, jwise@instructionalcoaching.com. Give me your ideas.
I have one.
Let's hear it.
Well, I think you have to work it out with your husband, but you wake up with no idea what you're going to do.
Ooh.
And then just take the whole day until you go to sleep to do whatever comes to your mind. Like, let the day carry you around. This is like a free day. And so you right when you wake up, you might say, I think I want to go out and have breakfast at such and such a place. And maybe I'll go do this, or maybe I'll go to or maybe you stay at home, but have a day that is just your day completely.
Love it.
Completely spontaneous. You may end up in Paris. Who knows? But you'd have to get back by midnight. But anyway,
that's it. That's going on the list. I love that idea. And if you have any more, please keep coming or tell me more. Text me, Polo, any ideas.
You just need 39.
I just need 39 more. Yes, I have some already. I love basketball. I think I've shared that with you. And last night I said to Robert, I really just want to go see the Hawks. Their season's wrapping up. They're in Atlanta right now. And we spontaneously bought Hawks tickets last night. And another thing that I had put on my list is to stay at the Ritz-Carlton, which I've never done. And we just booked it. We just did it. And here we are. I've got 2 down on my list already. So I'm very excited. This is exactly what I want to do is just not always spend the money that we're going to spend, but things that I've said, I want to do that, but it's not quite the right time. It's time. We're doing it.
You should really come and see the Kansas Jayhawks.
Oh, okay. That's going on the list.
Sports Illustrated says Allen Fieldhouse is the best place to see a college sporting event, not just basketball, any event.
Any event.
Right here in Lawrence, Kansas, Taylor Swift's favorite town.
How did I know you were going to say Taylor Swift's favorite town? I don't think you can say Lawrence, Kansas without mentioning Taylor.
Yes, they can say Bill James lives here too. The home of Hope Theory too. So a lot of great things come out of this little town.
And that's where you live.
Right.
Okay, Jim. So let's head into a couple more questions. So one is, we've been talking a lot about personal things for us, but what does 2025 look like for the Instructional Coaching Group?
Yeah, I'm a little nervous about answering this question because some of them are tentative and some of them are for sure. So I don't want to suggest we're definitely doing any of these things. Some of them we're definitely doing, but there's a few where I feel like we're moving in that direction. But because of our merger with Growth Coaching, we have a whole set of new things we can do. And over time, we're going to sort of share those one by one as we can get really good at before we share it. But the first thing I think I would like to see, if you said just one thing I'd like to see happen next year, I would like schools to start to use the assessment in the spiral bound IC toolkit of the 7 success factors so they can look at where they are with the 7 success factors. I don't think your coaching can flourish unless the coaches know how to gather data, unless they have a playbook, unless they have a coaching cycle that they've nailed, that they know inside out, they're highly proficient at. And then the partnership principles, the communication skills, the leadership skills, and then system support. So I feel like those 7 things, you can't take one out and have successful. If I can't do data, I can't set goals, I can't monitor progress. I really need to understand what data looks like. And the same thing for the teaching practices and the coaching cycle and all the other things. So for me, one thing I'd love to see happen would be that people really take that assessment seriously. And they start to think about where are we on this process and what can we do to improve. I'm really excited about what we can do with growth coaching. I think that's a big thing in 2025. Growth coaching gives us a suite of courses for leaders. And so there's one that's built around the new book that Chris Monroe and John Campbell are putting out called Growth Talk. It's about sort of, you only got a few minutes, how can you make it a coaching conversation? There's an introduction to leadership coaching, managing challenging conversations, the coaching accreditation program. I'm going to retake it, by the way, just so I can hang out with you. And but I have loved that coaching accreditation course. It's really been quite wonderful. There's a whole variety of things we can do to help leaders become more coach-like. And then I see us as an organization, a B Corp organization, looking at different ways in which we can help people access the content. So we have our virtual courses like the Virtual Institute, but I want to see Radical Learners expanding to offer more things. That course that Christian just did a while back on teacher well-being is so great. I'd like to see more things like that. And we've got our other virtual courses, but I want people to be able to access the content in different ways. And similarly, I'd like it to be more available in Southeast Asia and Australia where they can see that. And then the last thing I've got on my list, this is the one where I'm a little nervous about, but Ben Kalia and I created a course called Peer Coaching. And it's really peer instructional coaching. And I think in settings where they can't do coaching, I'd like to see providing the opportunity for teachers to coach each other. And I'm actually thinking it's going to be AI-assisted peer instructional coaching, which is a lot of letters, AIPIC, but APIC. But I think the limitation of peer coaching has always been you can't expect everybody to have a depth of knowledge about what research says about effective instructions like the way an instructional coach can. But with AI, I just was talking to a person this week that I'm coaching, a teacher. She's coaching second graders. And we looked at the video, which was just absolutely a joy to watch. And she said, I think I need to be, the kids are really, they're second graders and they're really squirmy. And, but she was just wonderful with them. But at any rate, so she said, well, I wish they were a little less squirmy, but I don't want to, take the joy out of their experiences. I don't want to sit there and just comply. And so she said, I think I need to be more clear on expectations and explanations. If I'm more clear, then maybe the kids will be a little less squirmy and we can measure squirminess this way. And then I said, okay, well, let's just do a little thing on ChatGPT. Let's find out what it says about what's the best way to explain things to a group of squirmy second graders. And that's exactly the words we use. And it came up with this checklist, like a list of suggestions, and we turned it into a checklist. And then said, okay, which one of these things do you want to do? What do you want to add? So we were able to access ideas through AI. And I think AI-assisted peer coaching is going to be a big thing for us next year. But that's the one I'm a little nervous about because you're the first person to hear all this. I don't know we'll have to see if we can actually make it happen. But that's where we're going. The peer coaching exists, though. People want to do peer coaching. We're ready to go.
Well, thanks.
How about you? That's a long, long thing. What are you thinking about moving forward? I know you've got all kinds of stuff happening.
Yes, 2025 is going to be so exciting, especially at the Instructional Coaching Group. So you and I are spicing up our virtual institute. I'm really excited. We're integrating the IC toolkit, which is spiral bound. And we're also building in more content from Data Rules. Great book, Jim, by the way. Thank you so much to you and Michael. And we're just adding in more experience, more time to process and practice, and more time for discussion. So I'm really excited to see what our virtual institute ends up looking like. And then we have, you talked about new ways for learners to engage with us in our learning. And I think one way to do that is the book club, which is an exciting new addition to 2025, definitely happening. And it's going to be one fine bird of a book club. Okay, good. So yes, I'm really excited about that one. And we're exploring 3 books, the definitive guide, the IC toolkit, and Data Rules. And I've already heard from some people in the book club, and I'm really excited to get that started and to meet with people and to build a community all around these books. And personally, I'm just also very excited to see what the coaching accreditation program has to offer me so that I can be a better presenter for the workshops we have in place at ICG, a better partner with you and for you as we co-present so much together. And there are just lots of opportunities too within our team to collaborate. And I'm really excited about what this merger is offering us as a B Corp, as a new company, as a bigger team, because I think that when we invest in ourselves and our team, that we're better able to serve all of the people who interact with us and then all the students that interact with them.
I think you really love the class. I read the course. It's nicely arranged so that you just click forward. So you don't have to like, what am I supposed to do? It's just really clear. And then there are activities and there's some webinars that are asynchronous, or synchronous, but most of it's asynchronous. But then you find a partner, you coach each other, you practice. It's really helped me expand my skills. I think you're going to love it. I really love it. Plus Christian and Claudia are the teachers and they bring such a nice vibe to it. So not quite as good as our course, but it's really good.
Well, of course. Just great. Going to be wonderful. Well, I hope everyone listening is also very excited. By the way, your secret of the AI peer coaching, the APIC, is safe with me and all the people listening. So no worries.
Right. Coming soon.
Yeah, coming soon. Maybe. No, it's out there. So, Jim, we've talked about all the things that we're bringing into 2025, and we're going to lean in now to our 2025 TLC theme, which is learning from experience. So how will we take what we've learned from experience to make 2025 the best year yet for the Instructional Coaching Group?
I think it goes back to using the assessment to really get clear. I mean, I think the 7s, I would like it if there's sort of a universal understanding of those 7 success factors and why they're so important. And that becomes the point of, it's like a rubric for your coaching. And I mean, you can look at evaluating instructional coaching and say, what's it look like? But I think you really want to look at your beliefs. Are my beliefs interfering with my capacity to be a coach? You really want to look at the way you listen and ask questions. We've learned a lot about how to do that more effectively. We're still learning. And you really want to look at how you identify your purpose and then align your life consistently with your purpose, and then how you interact with other people to help them do the same thing, to be a multiplier, to be responsive but ambitious for change. And then you've really, you're masterful in the use of the coaching cycle. And that means you can gather data and you have a playbook. And then the systems are designed to support the coach, so coaches actually have time to do it. And I think just keep coming back to those 7 things. Those 7 things are the way forward for coaching programs. And I don't think it's possible to just kind of luck your way through. Here you are, coach, go coach people up. I think you have to really work at it. But the good thing is it's pretty simple. So it's pretty clear. These are the things we need to do. It's kind of laid out so people can get it. So I feel those 7 things, that's to me the thing to build on is when it comes to coaching. We probably need something similar for leadership coaching too. What's your thoughts?
Learning from experience, I agree. I think the 7 success factors needs assessment is a great tool and an opportunity too for leaders and coaches or program leaders, whoever that might be, to collaborate and create a plan for learning. And that was the whole premise. That was the dream you dreamt when you called me and said, hey, I want to do this IC toolkit, is to really create communities of practice where solo coaches, groups of coaches, program leaders who facilitate to coaches can have a tool to learn and explore the 7 success factors and areas of need that they have within their school or their system. And as the co-presenter of the Virtual Institute with you, one thing I've learned is the importance of those partnerships. Is I have the chance to lead what administrators need to know, our system support virtual workshop. And it wasn't until I had a principal in there who said, hey, Jessica, do you remember me? And his name was familiar. I said, you're in our 16-week course. He said, yes, I've been enjoying it so much. And I wanted to hear more about what administrators need to do to support, because system support is an area where I need to have an active role. And so he came to that workshop and is attending the 16 weeks. His coaches are there as a team. So they're really invested. They have the beliefs in place to make their coaching program really successful, but to also support one another. And the extent to which they're going for everyone to be a learner is really inspiring. And learning from experiences, that's what I want to take away and continue to share with people. Is it's not just something to say, well, I meet with my administrator or I meet with my coach, but what are we talking about in those meetings to really make sure that we're investing in learning about how to make the coaching programs the best they can be with those 7 success factors so we can have an unmistakably positive impact on students.
Yeah, I think we want to move away from that nominal change and go to real change. And real change means there are things you need to know, and then you need to keep refining and getting better. And I think it's just enormous potential. Done well, coaching is going to have a huge impact. So it's exciting.
Yes. Thanks for all the ideas you shared today, Jim. Right. So to close out our show today, we're sharing something fun with our listeners. Everyone, we would like to kick off a 30-day challenge with some choice. So you could do one of 3 things we're sharing with you for 30 days, and then email your artifact to us at hello@instructionalcoaching.com to put your name into a drawing for a free IC planner. So here are the choices. They include a daily journal prompt to track your personal growth, trying something new every day, or a 30-day gratitude practice. So our listeners just choose one of those things: a daily journal prompt, trying something new every day, or a gratitude practice. And then they do that thing for 30 days. And then at the end of 30 days, they email us at hello@instructionalcoaching.com to put their name in for a prize. So what do you think, Jim?
What's the prize? I want to know if it's really going to be worth the effort. Do we know what the prize is?
Is it worth it? Can I do it? It's the free IC planner.
Okay. Oh, we can do better than that. We should give them a radical learners course. It's a free IC planner and a radical learners course. I think that's
You heard it here from Dr. Knight.
Right. Don't get me wrong, the planner is awesome, but
Yes.
$20, it's great. But yeah, I'm gonna do something. Have you got something you're gonna do? Which one?
Yes. Which one do you like?
I'm going to I'm gonna do the journal, but I'm gonna do it. I have a little. This is kind of cheating because I'm already doing this, but I'm gonna keep track of. I have several things I want to do every day, so I'm gonna check off if I do them all every day for 30 days. I have it's a little like it's like, yes, it literally is a checklist, but there's like
Yeah.
Sunday, Monday, it's a habit tracker. So I'm listing all the habits and then I'm going to check off if I do them.
Well, thanks for sharing that and good luck. I'm doing something new every day, except as you know, I'm doing 40. So
Right.
that's my fun thing. So I do have one small question for you here, Jim. These are
I have a new thing for you though. I'm going to interrupt.
Oh, do it. Do you have an
Yeah,
idea?
you should listen to Joni Mitchell Blue, that album.
Okay.
Okay, that's new. You never heard of her, so I think that would be a good thing.
Right.
You youngster, you don't know what's going on.
Oh, thank you.
They heard the Beatles. You ever heard of them? They're good too.
Oh, they're singers?
Yeah.
Sounds like I need to get a record
You
player.
can just say, yeah, old man, just move along. Okay.
So the final question here is, why are these small steps so important for either personal or professional transformation?
Yeah, there's a great book about that. BJ Fogg's book, Tiny Habits. And he's a researcher at Stanford. And it's a good audiobook too. I listened to it as an audiobook. And he makes the point that willpower never gets things, or rarely makes the difference. What makes the difference is developing habits. And it's not so much the big things, it's just developing a habit. And he said, let's say your son or daughter has a messy bedroom, and you say, get up there and clean that bedroom. The kids will be so overwhelmed that they might not get it done, and then it's a big hassle, and they're in tears or something. And he says, instead of yelling at your kids to go up and clean their whole room, help the kids develop habits. And so say, look, do you think when you go to bed at night, do you think you could just close your dresser drawers before you go to bed? Just make sure your dresser drawers are closed. And then once the kids get to where that's a habit, then you say, you're doing such a great job on shutting your dresser drawers every day. Do you think you could just put your dirty clothes in the hamper every day? Just do that every day. And to build habits, he said, because a habit doesn't require willpower. A habit is something you do almost automatically. When I get into a parking garage and I get the little ticket, I just automatically put it under the visor. I don't even think about it anymore. I just do it because I've done it for years. It's become a habit. So I never have to look for the visor for the ticket. I always know where it's going to be. And so those things like getting up and brushing your teeth or flossing, if you do flossing or whatever it might be, developing the habit in tiny ways is more important than making I'm going to drink, whatever people. I saw somebody the other day, they had a bottle that looked like it was, I don't know, 300 ounces or something. And I said, oh, you drink that all day? She said, 2 of these.
Oh, wow.
So I haven't developed that habit. But I think that rather than going for the big splashy thing, little tiny habits, at least BJ Fogg, his research would say, little tiny habits are more. He was trying to teach himself to floss his teeth.
Oh.
And so he thought that was really important. Research says you live longer if you floss your teeth. And so he said, I'm just going to start with one tooth. So, and then he built a habit. That's how he did it.
That's wonderful. Here's your reminder to floss your teeth, listeners.
Right.
Well, thanks for sharing that. It's been a really great conversation today, Jim. Thanks for all the fun we've had.
And I love it. They're always great. I'm grateful for you.
Grateful for you too. Well, thank you for listening today, everyone. If you found today's episode helpful, it would help us if you liked or followed the podcast. You can also leave us a rating or a comment so we can continue creating meaningful content just for you. Thank you. And until next time, go forth and lead great coaching conversations. And we wish you all well in 2025. Bye, Jim.
Bye.